The stranger who stole my heart in one night. The seaside against the shore like it had secrets to tell, once too old and too gentle to disturb the night. In the little town of Avonshore, where the lamplight was always a little golden and the breeze always carried the scent of salt and lavender, Isla folded the last blanket behind the front desk of the inn. She was used to evenings like this, quite slow, the kind that wrap themselves around your shoulders like a familiar shawl. But tonight felt different. It was not the sky, though it wore a blush of twilight like a kiss that had just faded, nor was it the inn. Humming softly with the low creaks of old wood and the ticking of the wall clock, it was something else, something waiting. Isla ran her fingers over the edge of the gas book, the same way she always did when her thoughts wandered. Just then, the door opened with a hush of wind and he stepped in. A man in a dark coat, tall, rain-dusted eyes like a winter sky holding its breath. He did not speak at first, just offered a small, tired smile, the kind that hinted at too many roads traveled, too many thoughts left unspoken. I think I have come a long way just to find this place, he said, voice no and worn, yet oddly melodic. Isla looked up at him, a soft curiosity blooming behind her calm. Then maybe, she replied, you have found the right night to arrive. The hall with two rooms full smelled faintly of cheddar and linen. Isla led him up the narrow staircase, her footsteps light on the worn wood. Outside the rain had started, just a hush of mist brushing the windows. She liked the way the inn felt when it rained, the way the world seemed to pause. Here it is, she said, unlocking the door and stepping aside. It's our enthusiast. The man stepped in, glancing around as if he was memorizing the corners. The fire in the heart had been lit earlier, and it danced softly now, its glow wrapping around the room like a sigh. A reading chair sat tucked beneath a window where the sea shimmered in the distance beneath silver clouds. You run this place alone? He asked, setting down his small bag. For the most part, is the reply. It's quiet, but it's home. He turned to her with a note. Quiet suits me. She lingered a moment longer than necessary, uncertain why. His presence was not loud, but it stirred something quietly awake in her, like the feeling of reading a forgotten letter in candlelight. I will let you rest, she said softly, retreating. He watched her go, the door closing behind her like a whisper, and Isla? She walked down the stairs with her hand on the banister, heart beating just a shade faster without knowing why. The inn's library was a quiet refuge tucked behind the breakfast room and scented with time-worn pages, and peppermint tea is a return there after lighting candles along the hallway. She often came to this space when you were outside blurred into rain and sea. Her fingers trailing familiar spice, her thoughts drifting, she had not expected him to find it too. But there he was, seated in the corner armchair, a book half open on his knee, a cup of chamomile untouched beside him. The fire crackled gently between them, painting soft amber onto his features. I hope you don't mind, he said as she entered. The door was open. It's for our guest, Isra replied, offering a quiet smile, though not many ever find it. He looked up at her, a softness in his eyes that had not been there before. It's peaceful, like something out of a memory I never knew I had. She sat across from him, pulling her cardigan tighter around her shoulders. That's exactly how this space feels to me, silence settled, comfortable, like a warm blanket put over two strangers, not quite a stranger anymore. What's your name? She asked at last. He hesitated, then answered, Eric. A name like waves, she thought, strong and distant, but ever still. I'm Isla. Their eyes met again, and in the space between their names, something quiet and tender was beginning to bloom. Rain whispered more endlessly now. The soft roar of thunder like distant drums echoing over the sea. Candlelight danced across the walls and in the stillness of the inn's library. Harry turned a page slowly, though the eyes were not truly on the words. Do you ever wonder, he said gently, if some places are meant to find us? Not the other way around. Isla looked at him for a long moment, her tea cooling in her hands. I do, she said. Sometimes I think this informed me before I was ready to be found. Eric leaned back, the shadows of the firelight painting quiet emotion on his face. I was driving. No destination, just a way that I saw the sign in the rain. I felt like a pause I did not know I needed. Isla nodded, heart thudding slowly, like the tide pulling at the shore. You seem like someone who has been carrying silence for a long time. His gaze met hers, opened the beer. And you seem like someone who listens without asking. For a moment, neither spoke. The rain fell, the fire sighed, and time seemed to soften at its edges. Isla stood, smoothing her skirt, her voice no more than a hush. It's late, you should rest. Eric stood too, but did not move toward the door. Thank you for the quiet. It's kind that stays with you. She gave him a small, real smile. Good night, Eric. He watched her go, and for the first time in a long while, he hoped morning would come slowly. The morning came slowly, wrapped in pale light and the gentle hush of air. The storm had passed any light, leaving the world dense and quiet. In the dining room, Isla placed 2 cups of tea on the table. Just as the clock ticked past Simon, she didn't know if he would come down. Perhaps it had all been a passing shadow, like the rain that drifted in and out of the coast. But then she heard the creak of the staircase. He appeared in the doorway, hair tousled, eyes softer than the night before. Still here, he said with a smile that touched something quiet inside her. They sat by the window where the sea glimmered silver blue beneath the waking sky. Eric took a sip, then looked at her with a thoughtful tilt of his head. What if I stayed another night? Isla's heart fluttered, not in dramatic way, but like the wings of a bird finally trusting the wind. I think, he said, stirring the tea, that this ins often gives people what they did not know they were missing. He reached across the table, fingers brushing hers, just barely, but it was enough to say what words could not. And the quiet between them, beneath of soft hum of morning, is a realized something. Sometimes a heart doesn't need forever. Sometimes one night, one stranger is enough to begin again.